Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Drunk Bible Study Bonus Edition, where we just started our boy Daniel, our sweet baby boy genius Daniel.
But not just Daniel, there's also 3 other baby geniuses in this book.
There are.
What were their names again, Emily?
So, okay, listen. I looked at my mother during the actual episode sent me this Wikipedia article on these boys.
Ooh,
And they have some IPA, and it is helpful.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes, it is helpful in terms of trying to figure out how to pronounce their names. So, okay. Sadrak. This is Sadrak, and that's how they're like putting it in IPA. But I think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's how I'm reading it in the IPA.
Does the IPA clarify which syllable to emphasize in that last one?
Well, definitely not the nago, like the E is upside down, which insinuates an sound.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I mean...
So, abed, abed.
Abed.
Nago. Abednego.
I thought the upside down E was like an sound.
That's what I'm reading this as. Abednego. Or Nugo.
I thought it was like a sound also.
Abednego.
Nugo? Like Nago?
Nuggos, yeah. Like some nuggos.
Nugo? Abednego.
Abed.
Nugo. Maybe?
What syllable gets the stress?
The E and the A. Abednego. Abednego. I guess.
Abednego. That's interesting.
Wait, Abednego. He's Italian. Okay.
Abednego. I may be reading this wrong. It's been a long time since I've taken an IPA class, but that's how I'm reading it.
Interesting.
So I should like post it in our Fans and Fellowship Facebook group and then the Discord and see what people think.
Yeah, that's good.
We can all collaborate on how to
Yes.
say it.
This is easier than seeing all of the letters together, which made no sense to me. It's much easier to see the IPA for sure. But these 3 boys, there is a lot about them in there. I want to point out that according to this Wikipedia article, chapter 3 is the only chapter that doesn't include Daniel in it, which is kind of fun. It's only about these boys.
Yeah.
And that according to this, that 4th person who was the angel or whatever you want to call it, they say is the Son of God. But, of course they do.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's
like the 4th, like a son of God. Okay. Yeah, whatever. There's also this really cool painting from 1266 that I want to post. That is the 3 boys in the furnace with like an angel behind them, making sure that they're good to go.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's really
They're
fun.
good to go. Yeah.
That they're good to go, that they're not going to. Yeah, that nothing's going to happen. So we were trying to figure out some good casting for these boys.
Yes.
These specific boys for Daniel and then also for Nebuchadnezzar. So I was thinking boy band.
Oh.
So what's a boy band with 3 boys?
Ooh.
My initial thoughts were Hanson, but if they're not available, the Jonas Brothers. Yeah.
Those are both
Does Green
really
Day count as a boy band?
Does what?
Does Green Day count as a boy band? Probably not.
Oh, I suppose we could do that as well if we want to go like more.
They're not
really a boy band.
But there's 3 of them.
There are 3 of them.
And they're too old now. These have to be young little boys.
These other boys are not that young, but,
Well, that's true.
Yeah, not anymore. But I was thinking that they would be more in the realm. I think the Jonas Brothers actually are the youngest of the 3 different options. Green Day, Hanson, or the Jonas Brothers. I think the Jonas Brothers would be good.
Yeah. I thought there was a group that only had 3, but maybe it was 4. Wasn't like O-Town?
O-Town had 4, but then Ashley
4.
left.
Okay.
I looked this up. Ashley left.
Well, who do you think would be the best?
I kind of like the Jonas Brothers because they're the youngest, but I don't hate the other options. Hanson is iconic.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm into the Jonas Brothers. As
You got to bring in that Disney crowd,
Yeah,
I think,
you're right. You're right.
Okay.
I think, that's a good one. Okay. All right.
So, but what about our boy Daniel and our boy the king of Nebuchadnezzar?
Yes. Speaking of the Disney crowd, have we cast Tom Holland? Probably.
Let me check. Yeah, we cast Tom Holland as Jeremiah's scribe.
Dang. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's fun.
Because he
That's
would have been a
fun.
good Daniel. But also my second choice was Jacob Eldery, which is Elordi.
Jacob Elordi?
Elordi. Yes.
Who is this?
So he is one of the leads in Euphoria. He's a big hot thing right now. You all may not have watched Euphoria, but
No, I did not watch.
he's an attractive boy. He's pretty young.
He's a young and attractive boy. And what draws him to the role of Daniel?
Well, he's very cunning in the show. We haven't actually seen very much of Daniel in this, but I feel like he's a big enough person that he could take on a lion. That was kind of what I thought of this casting.
I'll trust you on that one.
Okay, I mean, I don't know about this. I've always pictured Daniel as more of
as very small,
a slender boy. Yeah, more of a wafy, more of a a beautiful little ruddy boy.
Yeah, well,
like David was?
That's true. I mean,
like a harp playing kind of boy rather than a fight a lion kind of boy.
I think this Jacob Elordi boy could play a little wispy, ruddy, harpy boy.
He's a fairly big boy, but we could have different people in it. Gosh, there's other Euphoria actors that are good, like Algie Smith, who plays McKay in Euphoria. He's only 5'5".
Okay.
And he was born in 1994, so he's a young boy.
Okay, well, let me look up this boy.
Yeah. Tiny special boy.
He's an adorable boy. He's a very good-looking boy.
He does have more of the kind of stature I was picturing.
That's true.
A little more
slender
and dainty, but like he could see your dreams before you even tell
for sure.
him.
And he could also deal with a lion.
Oh, for sure. I think that he could deal with it.
Great.
Now, okay, definitely we can have a different casting choice here, but my idea for Nebuchadrezzar was the guy who plays Argus Filch / the guy who kills everyone in Game of Thrones. His name is David Bradley.
Oh,
so
wow.
like a real greasy,
real character actor,
slimy boy, real character
that's-
actor.
That's
Interesting.
just where my head went.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Real grizzled boy.
Have we cast David Thewlis in anything? Who plays
David Thewlis?
Who plays he's Lupin in those movies, but
but yeah, I don't know. David Thewlis gives me kind of more kingly vibes.
That's true. Definitely.
now?
He's excellent in so many things. He was just in Sandman and he was great in Sandman.
Keep in mind, this is going to be a pretty big character because he shows up in a lot of different books.
It's true.
And then also that he's like a conqueror king, so he's got to be someone that you can believe is like powerful and taken over.
Maybe this guy. This guy looks like he could play like Richard III.
David Thewlis, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see him being a Shakespearean king.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I like that. And we'll really play up the sort of Shakespearean-ness of him.
Yeah.
Have we had
I think that'd be fun.
Who's the quintessential method actor? Daniel Day-Lewis. Have we had him in anything?
I thought we did.
I think we did. Let me check.
Okay.
No, we haven't.
We have not. Daniel Day-Lewis
He's
could be a
another
good
option.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Okay. Yeah, he's another option.
Actually, just being dramatic as all hell.
I mean, unless I don't know if we want him for like Judas or something. I don't want to like take him away too quickly, but.
Oh, we have so many people on the list. It's okay. We have so many good options.
We have so many people.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, that's a lot of good choices out there. A lot of good people to choose from, I mean, and what's so great about this project is just how many actors keep coming to us being
how many actors there are.
Yeah, we're really spoiled for choice.
Is there a role for me? I want to be in DBS Plus so bad,
No, it's true. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, those are our options.
Okay, well, I'm going to write, I think we could bring in Daniel Day-Lewis for good old Nebby. King Nebby.
We're going to really make Daniel Day-Lewis do a read.
Yes. Okay. Everyone does a read at DBS.
Wow.
No exceptions.
Wow. Goodness.
Look, at this point, like we used to just offer roles to people, but we're a big enough deal now that people are wanting.
People got to fight
people
for
are
it.
begging us for parts,
Gotta
right?
fight for it.
God, who's going to be Jesus? I mean, really.
It's all right. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's fine. We're not there yet, thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go.
All righty.
Wow. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about some musical instruments.
Ooh.
So, yeah, okay, this actually turned out to be more interesting than I expected it to be when I started researching this. Because I originally started by looking into some of the names that we saw in our translations, right? So, like if I look at the King James Bible, for example, you hear the sound of the cornet, so like a trumpet kind of thing, right? Flute, we all know those. Harp, sure. Sackbut, which is an old-timey trombone.
Okay.
A psaltery, which is like another stringed instrument kind of a situation, like a particular type of a harp kind of a thing. I'm like, how do I describe it? What's weird about it is that it's basically very similar to a dulcimer.
Okay.
But then a dulcimer was also listed in that list from the King James Bible. So that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, I'd call a psaltery, looking at the Google image results, call it like a mandolin, but as a slice of pizza.
Okay.
I like that. That's like a good prompt to put into some kind of AI image generation software.
Yeah. And this is what all the images that it popped out.
Amazing.
Yeah. But it's the kind of the defining trait of those is that, so like, when you think of a harp, there's like a frame with strings across it, but it's just empty on either side. And then we have other instruments where you have strings all strung across like a harp, but there's a wooden resonating body on one side of it. So it would kind of like lay down on its side, and then you would either pluck or strum or even hammer the strings.
Hammer?
To get them to make a sound.
Goodness.
Yeah, so like a dulcimer, one of the ways of playing a dulcimer is to hit it with little hammers. Like little lightweight little hammers. And so that gives that sort of like bing, 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 bing kind of sound when you're playing it.
Bing, bing.
Yeah, exactly. Versus, strumming or plucking, which is a little more of a twang, twang, twang kind of a sound, or a bling kind of a sound.
Okay.
You get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the kind of category that it seems like the psaltery and the dulcimer and the zither, which is in other translations, all kind of fall into that same category of like there's a wooden sounding body with a hole in it usually, and then the strings are kind of mounted to either side and go across it. And then you pluck them and strum them and stuff like that to make sounds.
Alrighty.
But here was the part that got interesting. Is I was like, but what really were they? Because when I looked up a sackbut, for example, it was like, yeah, this is an instrument that was like started being played in like the 1500s. Like, okay, that's not right then. That's a lot later.
Well, yeah, definitely
not. Hold on. Although, but it seems like different translators have done some localization of the choice of instruments, right?
Some temporal localization. They tried to make it current.
Wow.
So in trying to research what these instruments actually are, found out one thing is that even when this was first written down, it was believed this was probably written down around 500 years after it happened.
Oh.
So there was already maybe some localization, some temporal localization of what instruments these might have been, that then over the years, people have tried more and more to translate them. And I found actually a fun, I think it might have been like someone's dissertation or something like this, but a paper where someone was looking specifically at these musical instruments and trying to figure out what they were. And so in the Hebrew, the names they found of these, and I'm not going to pronounce these right, but is the karna, the mashrakita, the katros, the sabecha, and the psanterin and the symponia.
Oh, I love all those. My favorite instruments.
Super great.
Yeah.
But so here was the interesting part. So the karna is a horn, easy, some kind of horn, right? So like cornet, bugle-y, maybe a shofar, some kind of a horn. We don't know what kind. If it's straight, curved, whatever, we don't know. But some kind of horn. Okay. The mashrakita is an onomatopoeia of the sound of to hiss or to whistle. And so they're like, we don't know quite what this is, but we think it's probably like a panpipe.
Oh.
It's probably a little whistly. And so that's probably gets translated as flute to be that kind of whistly sound, right? So that's the like hoo, 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 hoo.
Or a collection of owls, as Jace is interpreting it.
Oh my God.
Now, one of my favorites is the katros, which is a word that has meant a lot of different things over the years. Everything from a drum to a hurdy-gurdy to a bagpipe or even a type of clavichord.
Hurdy-gurdy.
And a clavichord, which is another sort of strummed strings across a resonating body kind of a thing. But according to this person's paper, at this time, it was probably a bagpipe.
Whoa.
Which is so cool.
A Babylonian bagpipe.
Is it,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like the same type of thing, the same type of bagpipe that it is now?
Well, unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine the defining trait that makes it a bagpipe is that the air is blown through it through
an animal skin.
a bag that gets inflated rather than directly being blown.
Bag, and there are pipes.
But in terms of like a modern day bagpipe, we think of has like the drone pipe as well as, the one playing the notes. And so maybe, who knows if this was the same, but
could have been simpler, perhaps. Just a pipe on a bag.
Simpler, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the sambeka or sambecha, which is some kind of harp. Specifically, that word is for a type of curved harp that's found even in modern day Ethiopia and Uganda. But there's no evidence that it existed in this part of the world at this time. So it's probably some other kind of harp that then later they used that word for it.
Wow.
So far we've got a horn, maybe a panpipe, a bagpipe, some kind of harp. Oh, the one important part about this harp is that it's specifically the Greeks associated this type of harp with prostitutes and adulterers.
Oh,
so it's like a smutty harp. It's a smutty harp.
Imagine the sluttiest harp you can possibly dream of and what that would sound like.
Yep. Wow.
Ooh, maybe it's very funky. It's like bang, 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 bang.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
Ooh,
That's
that's
good.
what it sounds like.
That's good.
Fun times.
And then there was the psanterin, which is a plucked stringed instrument. So maybe also like a dulcimer, zither type thing. So we've got like a harp kind, and then we also have this plucked stringed thing.
Okay.
And then the last one, which in one of the translations we read called it a symphonia. And I was like, what?
What is that?
What's that? Well, what it turns out is that a symphonia is a stringed instrument or possibly a drum or a hurdy-gurdy. And actually that earlier when we talked about this, the bagpipe, that word also is used as symphonia.
So who the hell knows?
In later Greek. But this word is symponia, which is a different word, which there doesn't seem to be any evidence that this is actually an instrument at all. And it may actually just be a term for harmonies generally, or a musical group, or any number of other things. So basically, the takeaway from this quick little dissertation that I read was just sort of like that the instruments are weird, that they're very like cultish, pagan. These are not holy instruments. These are dirty,
sexy,
naughty instruments, and that they're weird. That's kind of the takeaway that I got from that.
Yeah. My goodness.
That was so fascinating. I love imagining that, though. I wonder what it all sounded like. Very dirty, I'm sure. It just sounded filthy.
Fun times.
All right.
Filthy.
Let's bring it home with some Veggie Tales.
Okay.
You know what?
Oh,
we love it. So I do have to, I've picked out a couple clips. I have to set the scene a little bit. So Veggie Tales did not do a direct one-to-one of they're in Babylon and they've been captured and they're becoming the king's smart boys. They've changed it to be a little bit more of an allegory where Nebuchadnezzar is actually the executive of a chocolate company.
Cool.
And yes, and it all takes place in a chocolate company.
King. He's a chocolate king.
He's a chocolate king. Now,
he's a Willy Wonka.
Yes. Now, just this one scene that we're going to watch here, basically what's happened is their proxy for the whole, we're going to be vegetarian and you're going to eat meat and then we're going to see who looks hotter at the end of 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. That's like cannibalism.
Well, okay. So that's what I'm saying. They're not doing that.
Okay.
What they're doing is Nebuchadnezzar has told all the workers in his factory that they're allowed to eat as much chocolate as they want.
Got it.
And Rack, Shack, and Benny know that's not going to be good for us, so we're going to not. So that's just what's happened. And they've noticed that all the other workers are sick.
Oh.
Except for these three.
Okay.
Everybody else is lying down, but you three are standing up.
Actually, boss, I think the tomato is sitting. I'm standing. Sitting. Look, this is sitting, and this is standing. I'm standing. Okay, he's standing.
What are your names, boys?
I'm Shadrach.
I'm Meshach.
He can't say his name either. Thank you.
I'm Benny.
We can use boys who know how to stand up here at Neza Chocolate. How would you like to be junior executives?
What's it mean? It means you have to wear a tie. Sure, that'd be great.
All righty, Mr. Lunch, get them their ties.
It's all about wearing a tie.
But I did appreciate that even they, lambast the fact that Abednego is a very difficult name to say. So you're not alone.
I appreciate it as well.
Emily.
Thank you.
And I'm a bumblebee.
And I'm a bumblebee, right?
A beady boo. So this next clip is a little bit longer. And let me just say, from skimming through, watching this again, so many of these songs were still in my head.
Wow.
And I have to say, bangers also. Like, this was the thing about VeggieTales is in a wasteland of Christian content, and especially a wasteland of Christian content for children, they were like Disney quality by comparison.
There you go.
Right?
That's awesome.
Good. So good by comparison.
So I actually think they're pretty good. So this next one is where he's kind of pitching them on the whole statue plan.
Okay, great.
Boys, have I got a surprise for you. The other day, I was thinking about the Neza Chocolate Bunny, thinking about how wonderful the bunny is, how beautiful the bunny is, and I thought to myself, oh, if only all my workers loved the bunny as much as I do. I
These are
myself,
chocolate bunnies, of course.
Why don't they
Got
love it as much?
yes.
Do you know why? Because it's small. It's a little bunny. What they need is a bunny they can look up to, and I mean way up to. This is just a model. The real bunny is 90 feet high. My workers finished it this morning.
Wow, that's a big bunny,
Oh,
sir.
what a cutie.
Since you're my junior executives, I wanted you to see it first. But this afternoon, everyone will meet the new bunny, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing when everybody bows down and sings the bunny song.
I don't think I'm familiar with that particular tune. Could you just hum a few bars?
You know, I was hoping you'd ask.
Oh, yeah.
The bunny song is how all my employees will show just how much they love the bunny. How nothing is more important than the bunny. How they do anything for the bunny. And it goes something like this. The bunny, whoa, I love the bunny. I don't love my soup or my bread, just the bunny. The bunny, yeah, I love the bunny. I gave everything that I had for the bunny. I don't want no health food when it's time to feed.
It's getting all psychedelic in the video, too.
I know, and it's funny because they were doing vegetables in the book, in the story, but now they're doing chocolate instead, which is not health food.
So by the way, this song is a total banger. Would highly recommend people go and YouTube the bunny song from VeggieTales.
Amazing.
But yeah, so then the rest of the story kind of plays out the same way, where basically because they don't bow down and sing the bunny song, they get thrown into the furnace, but it's okay. And it's about peer pressure, right? And also God.
So this is separate from like any Daniel story? It's like a whole different episode of VeggieTales?
Yeah, I'm realizing maybe there isn't a Daniel story with VeggieTales.
Wow.
Because I think
this.
Rakshak and Benny were bigger deals than Daniel. That's nuts.
Yeah, maybe.
Nope. There is a VeggieTales about the lions.
Oh, good. Well, we'll get to
we
see
have more
that too.
VeggieTales to look forward to.
Oh, lions.
Spoilers.
Whoa.
There may or
I'm
may
excited.
not be one or more lions.
Okay. I am excited for the multiple lions potentially. Wow. Well, that was fun. This is a really fun book. I really enjoy it so far because, again, it's not all about God. It's like, yeah, God's going to save you from burning up in the fire because you're his chosen boy. But it's not God changing and altering and angering and killing people in the same way that he often is.
Oh, yeah. It's God being a stand-up guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's protecting. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's always nice. I appreciate that when God does a good thing. So, yay. We're looking forward to next week. How many of these Daniels do we have? Is it 3 episodes?
4 total.
4.
So 3 more
Wow.
after this.
Okay. Here we go. Well, we hope that you'll join us on more journeys of Daniel, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see a lion next week. And if not, I'm sure it'll still be fun. We'll see you then.